Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Sportscast Jersey Football Chat. Today we are joined by Jersey Wanderers women and Jersey FA women captain Libby Barnett. How are you doing, Libby?
I'm good, thanks, Dan. How are you?
Good. Yeah, not bad, thanks. Not bad. Before we look forward to the game by the time this goes out this coming week, let's look back at end of last season for the Jersey team. Obviously a great win away in Guernsey for the Marathi. How good was that day? And obviously played on the same day as the men's. So the whole occasion, how good was that?
Yeah, I mean, Marathi was a fantastic day last year. It's always nice to go away and get 2 wins on Guernsey soil. I think we went in quite confident, knowing what our kind of the level that our opponents were at. So we were pleased to get a win. Disappointed perhaps to concede, and lots to learn from that performance. But as you know, there's rare occasions that we can come together as an island side. So it definitely was an opportunity for us to kind of prep for the island games. That's kind of how we viewed the fixture. But great to get a win nonetheless. And then it was fantastic to be able to sit back and watch the men's game unfold and take 2 Marathi trophies home back on the boat with us. So yeah, great day, and look forward to the home fixture in May.
Yeah, definitely. Just a little note on Guernsey as well. Obviously, they've got more fixtures with Guernsey FC. How good is that for the competition side of things?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Really over the moon for Guernsey. It's great that they're going to be playing some UK opposition, and they've got some really great youngsters coming through. Whilst we know they've had some struggles over the last few years with their local league, they've got some really promising young players coming through. So Guernsey's progression is only going to better us and have a positive impact on Jersey's game. So looking forward to playing them in the Marathi replay over here in Jersey. And I do really hope it is a competitive match. So look forward to seeing how they progress and look forward to welcoming them.
Yeah, definitely. You touched on Island Games. Obviously, that came next in the summer. That was a bit chaotic and disappointing the way it ended, obviously. How did, obviously, the way it happened as well, the way you thought you were through and then you went through and then coin toss. How describe the emotions of that week for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a hugely controversial week, but really, I suppose, disappointing week for us. I've never quite had a week of emotions like it. Roller coaster was quite the term. Just really disappointing, I think, for us as a squad. We obviously set our sights on a medal, and to kind of have that given to us on a plate and then taken away within the space of 12 hours was really hard to accept, I suppose, and to manage as a squad. I think it kind of showed our resilience, and that's something that we really need some time to build on and to work on. We've got a squad that's got lots of experience in it, but lots of youth, and I think it showed going into the I think it was the 7th and 8th playoff the following day that we just weren't prepared for it. We weren't there in a headspace, I suppose, to play, and still a lot of the factors from the events that unfolded from the controversy of the coin toss the day before, we just weren't ready to play, and that just comes with experience and playing in tournament fixtures and having scenarios like this. So unfortunately it wasn't our tournament, but we've parked that. We're excited to play in the Southern Counties Cup. We've got the Marathi again in May, and then we've got Orkney so kind of in 18 months time. So whilst we've learned from that experience, we've parked it and we're ready to move on and hopefully never repeat anything like that again.
Yeah, it was incredible to follow just from here. So can't even imagine the emotions I went through those few days. We'll talk about the Middlesex game in a minute, but I want to discuss the start of the women's divisions local league here in Jersey to start with. It feels a bit stop-start looking in. Obviously, only 3 teams this year. How as someone who plays in it, who's played in it for years, what are your thoughts and opinions on how it's going this season?
Yeah, I mean, the obvious, we've got 3 teams in the league, which I'm sure nobody would want. It's really a shame to lose Grouville. at the start of the season, but completely understand why they felt they couldn't enter a team. We've got a lot of work to do in the senior game. We've got some really great players, as we always do. We've always had great players coming through, but there's some kind of drop off, which isn't common. In lots of other sports, it's not just specific to football. We see a lot of girls that when they kind of hit 12, 13, either fall out of football for whatever reason or fall out of sport altogether. And we don't see that transition of our hard work in the mini and juniors level into the senior games. So there's a lot of work that we need to do and understanding what the barriers are, why that is. In terms of the league as it is, we've got 3 competitive teams, which is really positive. It will be a great season in understanding who's going to take away the league, who's going to compete for the cups, and hopefully that competitiveness will follow into our senior representative side. It has been a little bit stop-start, obviously factors out of our control. The storm, the weather that we've had over the last couple of weeks just meant that games have been waterlogged. So it's a bit of a shame. We don't really have a bit of any momentum as yet, but as I say, we just kind of take it as it is. The league is what it is. We've just got to stay optimistic and hopefully keep encouraging other clubs to offer female football. So that's always would be my kind of advice is welcome girls into your junior setups, create girls only teams, and in the years to come you've then got your senior team within 3 or 4 years. So at Wanderers we're kind of hopefully seeing the benefits of that finally from next season when we've got our what once was our under 12 team and now starting to turn 16. So you've then got a constant flow, as you see in the male game, of young people transitioning into senior football. So I'm optimistic, I'm positive, but obviously you can understand we're going through a little bit of a rocky patch, and that happens.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, you're Wanderers through and through. How's the team looking this season? How are you feeling ahead of the season? I guess only a few games in.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a really great squad. We've got massive depth in the squad, obviously through Groveville folding. We've welcomed a couple of new players, which is fantastic. And then we've got some new players that have returned to the game after a bit of a break or haven't played football in Jersey before. So we've got more players than we can probably handle at the moment, which is really great for our training sessions. But it's great to have good numbers. It's great to have people fighting for places, which is something that we've never really seen in the women's game before. So that's really positive. We're definitely looking for some kind of silverware this year. We'd obviously like to follow in Roselle's footsteps and get the treble or quadruple or whatever they managed to bag last season. But we'll kind of take it one cup at a time. Got a cup final against Roselle with a date yet to be confirmed. We're yet to have a league fixture, but we're looking to start that campaign really strong, and then the trophies at the end of the season. So yeah, we're definitely motivated. We know what we're looking for, and we'll just see how the season unfolds.
Definitely. Good luck with it. Going into that Middlesex game, how good is this opportunity? Obviously, we saw a new sponsor announced recently on socials. How good is that support, and then the opportunities to go away and play in these competitions and against these different teams?
Yeah, I mean, we're really, really thankful to have Ingram sponsoring us and kind of allowing this opportunity. Lee's been great. It was nice to meet him earlier this week and kind of be able to present him with the match day shirts that we'll be wearing for our home and away fixtures for the next 2 seasons, which are very smart. Yeah, these away fixtures are really important. We know what it's like here playing in Jersey. We've just talked about how we have a 3-team league. It's very repetitive. It's really important that we play against other opposition to not only to challenge ourselves, but just to kind of see where we're at. That's going to be important as we a further challenge for the Marat each year, and we go into the Island Games. A great example of that is when we played against Bermuda in our opening match in Guernsey this summer. We had no idea what Bermuda were going to be like, but from kind of little bit of research through Chad and the coaching team, understanding what level they were playing at in America, we knew that they were going to be a really decent squad, and actually they were even better than we were planning for. So it's important that we keep playing against better players, and the mainland is the easiest way to do that. So yeah, looking forward to the Middlesex game next week or this week, and then the 2 fixtures that follow, 2 away fixtures, one in December, one in January, and then we welcome the Army back. I think it's in March. So really great prep for the Maratti, but also just generally fantastic to get this kind of new opposition opportunities.
Yeah, yeah, and you've been training with the squad more and more, the Jersey squad. So how good is that to get more frequent and um, just to get together more often and to train with the best players on the island more often?
Yeah, it's really great. We've been training up in Overfield, which is a fantastic facility. So kind of have a bit of a break. We always get together as a squad in the Build at 20 fixture. Like we say, I think perhaps after the Island Games, we all needed a bit of a break, return to our clubs, have a bit of a reset. But really proud of how the girls just come back together. Like we say, we kind of parked what happened in the summer and really focused on what's yet to come. So we're pretty much the same squad with a couple of new faces of some younger players who are turning 16 and bring lots of skill and pace. Certainly something that I don't bring to the squad anyway. But yeah, looking forward to kind of traveling over as a team and linking up with some of the girls who are based in the UK for university or playing football in the mainland. So it'll be good. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, good. And how confident, how much do you know about Middlesex and how confident you can go there and get a win for Jersey?
Not so much in terms of Middlesex. I believe they're kind of like well, they are a county FA like us, so they'll be bringing in players from lots of teams. I believe the players are predominantly tier 3 and 4 players, so it will be a really good test for us. How often they play together, we're not too sure. Don't understand kind of what the setup is there. So hopefully we'll have the advantage in that we all play together really well. We play against each other week in week out, but we know each other really well. So hoping that'll give us a bit of an advantage. But in terms of how they set up, not quite sure. We'll just adapt to it on the day.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Final question from me today, Libs. Women's football going forward, how much would you encourage women to get involved in football? We've talked about girls, but obviously women who have probably or maybe gone out away from the game, how much would you encourage them to come back? But also, what are your thoughts going forward for women's football in general and how to improve it here in Jersey?
I mean, anybody that knows me will say that will hear me say a million times, there's never been a more exciting time to be a female in football. And I harp on about how fantastic it is to be able to turn on TV and watch Chelsea women play and see female coaches, see female officials. I think visibility, it really is powerful. And to me, it's one of the most important factors of getting more females into the game. There's lots of opportunities to do so locally. Clubs over here now are really trying to progress the women's game. We can see that through Jersey Wanderers, Roselle, St Lawrence, St Peter now, all kind of actively promoting their female setup and showcasing it, which is really fantastic. There's funding available specifically for the female game that isn't readily accessible to male parts of the game. So really, in terms of barriers, we're hoping that we can knock a couple down. Obviously, here in Jersey, one of the biggest barriers is facilities and access to, so we can put on these great setups. We look at our kind of junior girls pathway. It's fantastic, but if we're waterlogged every weekend and we can't train, it's difficult to kind of have a football team that isn't able to do anything. So facilities, I appreciate, are an important factor, but the enthusiasm's there. Schools are fantastic at kind of opening doors and allowing their junior girls to play alongside the boys, or perhaps having a standalone girls team. JFA have got some great resources. I believe they've just appointed a new women and girls development officer. So again, it's a really exciting time to be a female in sport, or not necessarily having to be a female, but kind of being a male ally and being a supporter of the game like you are, Dan. So yeah, I just always say just get involved, whether you're a mum or a supporter or just somebody that wants to help on a match day. You don't necessarily have to bring a skill, but if you do have a skill, equally we'd love to get you involved. So yeah, just come along and join. We're quite a nice bunch.
Yeah, yeah. Well said, well said. Good luck to you and the team next week, and good luck in the season coming up with Wanderers as well.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Brilliant. Thank you to everyone who's watched or listened to this episode. Another episode is coming soon.